Alice Beer is a consumer journalist and TV presenter who's made a name for herself as a champion of the savvy shopper. Her expertise lies in helping people save money while still getting the products and experience they love. Alice knows that there are big savings available for canny shoppers who are willing to travel for a bargain, and she's here to help you make the most of them. How are you today, Alice?
I'm very, very good. I'm all the better for speaking to you. How are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. So, why do you think it is that we love a bargain so much?
Oh, we really do, don't we? It's that little thrill. It's that thrill that we like, that we feel we've got something for a bit cheaper. This was a survey that was done by ferry company Stena Line, looking at their duty-free offerings, and they found that 83% of us actually admit to getting a thrill from a bargain. And then we like to brag about it. Yeah. And I think there's a lot of that now. I mean, we're sort of over that overt consumerism where we used to sort of wear a designer label and know that, people could see that we'd spent money. Now we like to get a bargain and show off to people that we have saved money. So, I'll take my thrills where I can get them. Yeah. Money is definitely one of them. Definitely.
So what are your tips to actually find a bargain in the first place?
Well, I think that we've got to headline duty free first, because I think in days way before you were born, we used to go and get on a ferry and go over to Calais, was the hot spot then, and go to a big old supermarket, fill up the boot of our car with cheap booze and bring it back in for a party for Christmas, for the summer. And I think we have now reached a stage, and travel is interesting in this country, whereby we are getting frustrated with air travel. We know environmentally it is really horrendous. We are fed up with the restrictions, the 100 millilitres, the paying extra for a bag, the sitting trapped in your seat next to a screaming child. We're done with it, I think, largely. We're looking outside the box. We're looking at slower travel, more considered travel. And I think attention is turning to the ferry. And with that comes the ability to take your car with you. And with that comes the ability to bring back in your duty-free allowances. So it's all quite a big circle of, well, hello, we're doing slow travel. We're going to get on that ferry in Holyhead. We're going to go over to Dublin. We're going to have a gorgeous time, maybe drive over to Cork and see the West Coast and maybe come back via Rosslare. We're just going to do a bit of Irish travel, and we're going to come back with a boot full of bargains. And I really do mean bargains. So it's interesting. I think it's different. It's a freer way to travel. It's a more gentle way to travel. And I think that is the way we're going now.
Do you think ferries deliberately go slower than they need to so that you spend more time looking in the shops?
Absolutely. Oh, they could be over there in 15 minutes. Capability of Concorde, but they're just trying to slow us down.
Yeah. Do you think it's worth booking a holiday just to take advantage of the duty-free prices? Because maybe if you found a really cheap ticket or whatever, the money you could save, you're still saving money.
Well, look, I could do the maths. I like the maths. I hated it at school, but I like it when it comes to making a saving. If you were going to pop over to Dublin this weekend and use a well-known cheap airfare, say you went from Bristol to Dublin, for two people, it cost about £551 before you've even got any luggage. Okay. If you're going to pop on a Stena Link from and take your car, two of you, from Holyhead to Dublin, costs you £293 with all the luggage you want to take and your dog and granny in the back. So that's a saving already. You're paying less. I mean, you could go on foot and pay £12 for a same day return, no car. But then when you start factoring in, so let's have a look at some of the duty free savings. A litre of gin, if gin is your triple, Gordon's gin for a litre is 52% off the high street price. So £12 for a litre. You could bring in 4 litres of spirits, 18 litres of wine and 42 litres of beer. So if you are planning a trip to go to watch the rugby this weekend or go to some Patrick's Day on Friday, both if you've got the stamina, and come back again, yes, you would be making an incredible saving. Yes, you've got to drive to the ferry port. I get that. And yes, it's a longer journey, but actually when you factor in airport check-in times and things, it's not that much longer. I think there is a genuine saving. Now, I think it the starting point for your holiday planning? Possibly, when you factor in the price of hiring a car when you get to a location as well. So I think the days might be coming back where we take a special trip to make duty-free savings. But remember, a bargain is only a bargain when you've done the maths and worked out that you're genuinely going to use it.
Yes.
It is worth considering. And yeah, absolutely. I think we're going back to the glory of duty-free days.
Yeah, that's an important point. It's only a bargain if you actually need it, and you shouldn't just buy something just because it's cheap. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money still.
Absolutely. Who could ever be wasting money on a bottle of orange gin? But you're right. You've either got to need it, want it, or it's got to enhance your life in some way. If it's something that's going to sit in a cupboard, we've all been to the sales and bought something, and it sat in our cupboard like a white elephant and reminded us of that was not a good purchase. Just because it was 50% off, it wasn't a good purchase. It was still a waste of money. So I think you've got to work out, hang on, we've got a family wedding coming up. We're going to be making gin cocktails. We're going to be drinking a lot of wine. Well, let's take a trip to Dublin. Let's take a trip to Rosslare, have a fantastic weekend, have a laugh, and bring back the booze.
And how do you know that the duty-free prices are a good deal? Because I guess you've got to do your research before you get on the ferry, and you might not necessarily know what the stock is going to be in advance. And then most of the time when you're on the ferry, you don't really have access to Google to compare the price to other places.
Oh, well, you will. You get good Wi-Fi now on Stena Line, but you can do your homework beforehand. However you're traveling, you always have the opportunity to go on online. You can go to stenaline.co.uk and have a look at their onboard offerings. So you can do your homework in advance, and it might be that they've got tech that is cheaper or toys that are cheaper. They're certainly going to have perfumes that are cheaper for gifts. So do your homework. But yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's likely that you want to bring back some wine and you're going to get on board and find that that it's dry. Maybe they'll need restocking after this weekend. But I think that absolutely you're not going to get on and find that there's nothing there on the shelves. Have you ever been through a duty-free shop, be it air travel or ferries, and found that the shelves are empty? It's
no.
not the case,
Yeah. Well, where are we able to go to find out more information?
Well, as I said, you can go to stenaline.co.uk/onboard and have a look at their duty-free shopping, and just have a look. Consider your trips. I think if you've got a glimmer of hope post-budget that life is not going to be harder. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's not going to be harder. And perhaps you're planning a trip. Think outside the box. Think of the ferry trip and think of, filling your boot on the way.
Excellent. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been very helpful to have you here.
My pleasure. Take care. Bye.